Assassination Classroom is a weird show. I mean, just the premise alone is ridiculous. It's all about a big, freaky octopus monster who's teaching some junior high school students not only lessons in life, but how to actually kill him. Otherwise, he will destroy the entire planet. Once you can get past that, you're really going to enjoy this week's episode because they add something new to the mix. There's a brand new student in Class 3E, and it's not exactly human. It's actually a killer Terminator AI, which has been designed to kill Koro Sensei with an endless barrage of anti-Koro Sensei BBs. And it also happens to have something of a personality. This brand new student is originally known as the Autonomous Intelligence Fixed Artillery. It's basically just a big TV screen that has all of these weapons which pop out from the side of it, and it's really freaking dangerous. It's represented by this AI by the name of Ritsu. That's actually her name that they give her at the end of this week's episode. But Ritsu at the beginning of the episode starts out as just a standard AI, which is represented by a human face, and that's just because this is like their ploy to introduce a new student. And Koro Sensei, being the guy that he is, he's a completely outstanding teacher, will not deny even an AI student. But what's really insane about this episode is that Ritsu is a freaking monster when it comes to killing Koro Sensei. Constantly, she is pulling out different guns, machine guns, freaking shotguns, and blasting them all over the room, constantly disrupting class, which is kind of funny, but when you can see that it's been going on for days, you can definitely tell that it's really starting to piss off the students, who are not only trying to kill Koro Sensei themselves, but actually trying to get a decent education. And just like the legendary Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ritsu will do everything in her power to destroy her target. The biggest twist of this week's episode is when we actually get to see that one of the students by the name of Terasaka, the bully-looking character, actually decides to completely wrap up the entire machine so that she can't pull out her guns and disrupt the class anymore. And since it's a student doing it, Koro Sensei isn't going to get in trouble. But Koro Sensei still sympathizes for this AI unit and decides to give it an upgrade, which completely changes Ritsu's look. It also gives her a brand new perspective on life. I especially love how they represent her entire transformation sequence, where before she was basically just a head in a TV, and now it's this big LCD screen. You can see her entire body, and she's actually standing outside, and that'll actually represent her emotions. When she's happy, it'll be nice and sunny outside. When she's sad, there's actually going to be rain, and she can actually still help out people with their homework, and she even tries to help some of the students cheat by writing suggestive things on her legs, which I thought was actually kind of funny. But as the episode is going on, she's actually starting to become too much of a normal student, and her creators are very angry at this, so they actually decide to give her a D grade and take out all of the things that Koro Sensei gave to her. And this scene was handled really well, because it's at this point of the episode that you actually start to believe that this character is real, and there's a lot of things they do to represent that. Like, I love when they actually take down the LCD screen, they put it down sideways, and she's actually laying down sideways in the screen. I thought that was really clever. But even in the next day of class, when she's been downgraded, she actually hid all of that stuff that Koro Sensei taught her in the corner of her memory banks, and she's able to bring back her old, bubbly personality. I especially love that scene at the end where she has all these like flower petals blossom and go all over the classroom. They actually asked her to make some flowers because she's got a 3D printer within her body. It's a surprising episode that they can actually make you care about an AI artificial intelligence student, and they did a really good job of that in this week's episode. Honestly, in the previous one, and when they said that there were going to be 2 new students joining, I did not expect anything like this at all, and this week's episode was a very nice and pleasant surprise. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Assassination Classroom? This is a great series that can actually make you care about things that aren't even alive. And, you know, I can't go the whole review without mentioning that big final scene with Bitch Sensei when she had the face drawn on her rack. That was random and hilarious, and it was probably one of the greatest ways to end this week's episode, which was a very heartwarming episode. And again, it just shows that Koro Sensei is an amazing teacher in every possible way. He'll go out of his way to actually help out something that wants to kill him. It's insane. I still can't wait to learn a little bit more about Koro Sensei's backstory, which they gave us some hints to that in the last episode, but in this one it was completely absent. It looks like we're only going to get that information every once in a while. Despite that, this was interesting, you know, because they really teased us. At first, I literally thought there was going to be some sort of new student who just seemed kind of unassuming at first when they introduced her at the beginning, when the students were looking at pictures of her on the phone. But then when you saw that weird freaking monolith-like box just hanging out in the classroom, it was strange. And it certainly adds just another weird dynamic to the show. And it's just strange to believe that there is another student in the class and how they're even getting away with that. I don't know, it's just strange. It's another one of those elements of the show where you just have to, like, sort of just accept it. I mean, this is one of those shows. I mean, really just think of the overall premise, and you really should be fine with it. Otherwise, this was a really well-animated episode. I especially liked all the scenes where Ritsu was constantly attacking Koro Sensei, and he was having to dodge all of the attacks and blocking them in slow-mo with his chalk. I thought that was pretty freaking awesome. And there's just a lot of, like, little funny moments in terms of the animation, like the scene at the end when Koro Sensei smiles, and he has all of those weird tools hanging out of his mouth. I thought that was really funny. This was just a really nice, heartwarming, action-packed episode that was really surprising. Again, just like the rest of this series, which is honestly becoming one of my favorite of all time. And I'm also really excited for that brand new fighting game that is coming out on PS4 and PS3. I know I'm going into like a whole nother realm right now, but it's called J Victory Stars Versus, and it has a lot of different characters from Shonen Jump and other different manga series, and they're going to be fighting, and Koro Sensei is going to be one of those characters, and that's like really pushing me to get that game. I mean, I was already excited over the fact that you had characters from like Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, freaking One Piece, and Naruto in the game fighting each other. But just the fact that Koro Sensei is in there really makes me want to pick that up because this series is becoming one of my favorites. I really hope that the anime version actually sticks to the manga version. I haven't looked at the manga quite yet. I want to watch the anime version first, and then maybe I'll migrate over to the manga version. But otherwise, I'm really enjoying the ride right now. It's a really, really fun series that had some great production value and some fantastic characters, some of which actually get their first lines this week, which are pretty damn funny. So overall, this was another really high-quality episode of Assassination Classroom, which is still keeping the mystery high about what Koro Sensei really is, introducing some brand new students who are not exactly normal, and overall, it was just a really fun episode. I wish a little bit more could have happened, but this was still a really high-quality episode that you should definitely check out if you're a fan of the anime version or the manga version. I'm giving this week's episode a 4 out of 5. Really, really great episode of Assassination Classroom that you should not miss. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and like the video. And before you guys leave, please tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Assassination Classroom in the comments section below. What did you think of the brand new student, Ritsu? Were you shocked that it was a weird, freaky AI unit? What do you want to see from the rest of Assassination Classroom? Remember, if you guys have not subscribed to our channel, I would highly recommend doing that, so that way you can see all of our latest anime and manga reviews. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, and you should also check out our brand new podcast show, The Powerful Nerdcast. We talk about all the brand new spring anime that's coming out. What shows do you want us to discuss and review? Watch that video and let us know. Thank you guys again for watching, and stay dandy, baby.